One of the core messages, in fact, from you has been you want to see troops out of Iraq, but also troops out of Korea, where we have 30,000 U.S. troops, troops out of Japan, where we have 50,000 U.S. troops, troops out of Germany, where there are about 65,000 U.S. troops. Clearly, you're envisioning a very different kind of military than we have today. Describe what it would be if you were president, the military.
Well, it'd be more traditional. It would be following the advice of the founding fathers. It would be following the advice of President Bush when he ran in year 2000, that we shouldn't be involved in nation building. We shouldn't be policing the world. We should have a more humble foreign policy. And that's been our tradition. But I think the reason they're paying more attention now is the fact that we're making little progress, and it just seems like this war in Iraq is endless, and they're scared to death it's going to spread into Iran. At the same time, they're realizing that we're running out of money. Most people can figure it out that we can't even fight this war without borrowing money from China and Japan and Saudi Arabia. And anytime they want to bring us to our knees, they can.
You are very strong about a policy of non-intervention. So let me throw out some hypotheticals for you. Let's say you're president of the United States and Iran says, we have nuclear weapons.
Well, I'd prefer them not to, and I think if we had a different foreign policy, they wouldn't have an incentive. But if they did, I wouldn't do that much about it. I wouldn't bomb them. I mean, they're a third-rate nation. They're not going to attack us. They're incapable of even attacking their neighbors. They're incapable of, and they have no history of doing this. So to stir up this hatred that is so unnecessary and needless just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the Pakistanis have them. There's a lot of nuclear weapons floating around in the old Soviet Union. So it isn't the nuclear weapons. We're just looking for an excuse. This is war propaganda to get the American people behind the bombing of Iran. Just like the war propaganda got us all worked up and thought we had to go get Saddam Hussein, which was absolutely unnecessary.
Back in May at the Republican debate, you kind of got into it with Rudy Giuliani, and you were talking, I'm sure you remember this very well, you were talking about the root causes of 9/11. I'm going to play for you the little clip that I know you've seen a bunch of times. Take a look.
Non-intervention was a major contributing factor. Have you ever read about the reasons they attacked us? They attack us because we've been over there. We've been bombing Iraq for 10 years. We've been in the Middle East. I think Reagan was right. We don't understand the irrationality of Middle Eastern politics.
It's an extraordinary statement. As someone who lived through the attack of September 11, that we invited the attack because we were attacking Iraq. I don't think I've ever heard that before, and I've heard some pretty absurd explanations for September 11.
In a nutshell, he said what you were saying was absurd, and then he got a loud round of applause for saying that. What did you make of his response to you?
Well, what is extraordinary is that he didn't know the real reason. Even Wolfowitz admitted that our base in Saudi Arabia prompted Osama bin Laden to prompt this attack. The real reason they come here, the word is occupation. And if for any reason we continue to believe this naively, that they come here and they want to attack us because we're rich and free, we can't take care of this problem. So that is crucial. But I think the really amazing thing is that he had never heard of it, because the 9/11 Commission report actually identified this as one of the reasons they came here to attack us. Bases over there, the sense of occupation, our persistence and interference in that land, as well as the bombing of Iraq that had been going on all through the 90s. And if we fail to see that is the cause, we can't solve our problems.